I recently discovered that Community Board 10 in Harlem, which is supposed to represent Black people and supposed to represent the best interests of Black people, has been fighting to keep all of their parking and add more and more parking, even though 80 or 90% of the people do not drive in Community Board 10. Yes, Community Board 10. Y'all keep, and I would say this to Mark Levine, I think you're great, you're doing a great job, but I think we can pick better people for Community Board 10. So recently, Community Board 10 released a draft resolution where they complain about the removal of parking mandates. Not even the removal of parking, but parking mandates for builders who want to build more units in Harlem, be it affordable or otherwise. Again, this is an additional barrier. This is going to make the cost of building go up and up and up. This is going to make the cost of housing go up and up and up. This is inflation creation in Harlem. They're going to wonder why the studio apartment in Harlem, I was paying in last year in 2023, October, when I moved out, I was paying, I was going to have to pay almost $2,800 a month for a studio, not a studio apartment without a closet. Didn't even have a closet in the whole studio. And it was very small and tiny, like a little sliver of space. $2,800 for a studio apartment. And that's because they have to accommodate parking, or they just sit on the land until the regulations are such that it's reasonable for builders to build in that area. A lot of Black working class people create freedom for a lot of other people in a lot of richer areas of New York where they have started to limit parking. I'm sitting on Broadway right now. A lot of Black people working in this area, but when they go home, they're going to be like hit or almost hit by a whole bunch of cars, people driving crazy, doing crazy things. And I think Community Board in Harlem is not representing us well in pushing for parking mandates. We need to remove parking mandates, and we need to go a step further than that. And we need to start removing parking, doing a parking rationalization. So I'm going to leave a link to this draft document, this draft resolution on the City of Yes for a housing opportunity that Community Board drafted up so you all can see it. Some of the other concerns around affordability, the housing that is going to be built is not affordable enough. I sympathize with that. I agree with it. But their opposition to removing parking mandates is counterproductive and unhelpful, and it doesn't help Black people. It hurts Black people. It hurts young Black people. It hurts old Black people. It makes it harder for old Black people to cross the street, to walk safely on the street, to exist in public space, and it makes it more difficult for younger Black people to afford housing. They get put out on the street, and when they get put out on the street, they're susceptible to drugs and crime and all kinds of and mental instability, and that's not fair to them. So, look, let me know what you think down in the comment section, and look, I would encourage you all to lobby Mark Levine politely so that way he can select better community board members who will support the removal of parking mandates in New York City. And actually, I would encourage Yusef Salam and City Council to push through a removal of all parking requirements in New York City. And we need to do a moratorium on additional parking spaces, paid or otherwise, in New York City.